everybody, and welcome back to another episode of The Male Perspective. I am your host, Lana Reid, and today is an awesome day, an amazing day. Today I have with me Brother Dagogo Obomanu. He is the current boss of the Rho Mu Mu chapter out in the west side of Chicago. And shortly, we will hear more about the wonderful work that his chapter is doing in the community and a few other things. But first and foremost, as I always do, sir, I take a quick moment to pause, say thank you to you for making time for me today. Time is a gift. Once we give it, we can't get it back. So I truly appreciate you making this time of your day to sit down and chat with me. And with that, sir, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I truly appreciate you inviting me to your show. This is amazing. I appreciate the work that you're doing. We all do, and it's a blessing to be here. Thank you so much.
I didn't butcher the name too badly, right?
No, you actually said it right.
Okay, from now on it's Obi though. I got it right one time. I don't trust myself. So let's jump right in because I have a short amount of time with you today. So I'm gonna try to pack in a whole bunch of stuff here. But my first question is, how long have you been an Omega man?
I have been an Omega man for 7 wonderful years. It's coming up on 8 in April. And awesome. There are many decisions that I've made that I've questioned over time, and this ain't one of them.
Awesome. I love it. I love it. And you pledge where?
I pledge with the Rho Mu Mu chapter on the west side of Chicago.
West side of Chicago. Okay. And I'm a little late. I'm a couple of weeks late, but I want to say happy belated Charter Day to Rho Mu Mu. I see that September. Help me out here.
September.
Now,
I'm bad with dates, so I'll be honest, I'm terrible. And you got me on camera with this.
Hold on a second. Let's pull it up here real quick. Anyways,
got me on camera with this. I sent out an email on the date and everything. Hold on. I feel terrible.
Okay, all right. We're gonna get some ribbon from the brothers after we get off the air here. Okay.
You don't even know you're on Founders Day. I'd forget my birthday if it wasn't.
Awesome. Well, while you're looking up the date, can you at least give us a brief rundown? Because you guys are kind of new, some of the babies of the bunch. Can you give us a little history of Rho Mu Mu?
Sure. So we were founded back 12 years ago, and it was founded by 25 brothers who realized that there was an opportunity to serve on the west side of Chicago. Essentially, what was happening was we had a lot of chapters that were based in the south side of Chicago. 3 or 4 of them straight down the Dan Ryan, all based in Chicago. And then we also had other chapters, but they were much further north. So there was a large gap in the city of Chicago on the west side. And so one of the brothers, by the name of Willie Edwards, he was really passionate about trying to bring something to that area. So he went and he rounded up brothers, however he can get them, come join me, help me, let's all get together and let's really proceed to do something here. Let's build something special here in a place where he's originally from. I'm not from here, but where he was originally from. And it was really just kind of a grassroots movement. A lot of people just came on over, assisted, built the charter up. And then the people that weren't, they brought their friends, and then it could just continue to build from there.
Okay. About how many graduate chapters are there in Chicago? You mentioned them.
Don't give me the line. In the Chicago land area, we're probably 10 or 10 or 11. In the Chicago proper area is probably 5 of us.
Okay. And for the outsider looking in who doesn't really understand the landscape of Chicago, kind of briefly explain what's the difference between flying into O'Hare versus flying into Midway. I mean,
O'Hare is really like the international airport, right? Okay. And they do a lot of traffic like that on that kind of level, but it is a solid 45-minute drive away from Chicago. So O'Hare is not in the city proper. Midway is in the city proper, and depending on where you live in the city is maybe 20 minutes to be able to get to that airport. So a lot of people who live in the city often prefer to fly out of Midway. And then a lot of people who live in the northern suburbs, they prefer to go out of Midway. It really just depends on where you're trying to get to, though, honestly.
Yeah, I made that a mistake. My very first time flying into Chicago, I flew into O'Hare, and it was a bunch of fussing and complaining from the people that picked
They had to
me.
pick you up, yeah. Yes, indeed. Because that
Yes,
how did
indeed.
you come in O'Hare? Why would you do that?
Why
Indeed,
would
yeah.
you do that? We don't. Never again, never again. Okay, so let me pick back up on something I heard you say. You said pledging Omega Psi Phi was one of the better decisions that you have ever made in your life. At that particular time, when you were making that decision to pursue Omega, what was it about the fraternity, the brotherhood, that made you say, "This is the place I belong"?
The idea of friendship sits really strongly with me.
Okay.
And when I saw that the fraternity motto was "friendship was essential to the soul," that really resonated well with me. I was in the Navy, and in a prior life, but I was in the Navy for 8 years, and one of the things that I enjoyed about being in the Navy was no matter where you went, you were able to build some form of community, right? You could travel, you're there day one, and then somebody was like, okay, we're having a barbecue for you, the day you got there, or a couple weeks in, come on, so you can meet this person and that person and this person and that person. And realistically, like, people, because you're a person new in an area, they would flock to you to help you build that sense of community, build friends, and hang out and do that. So when I got out of the military, I was missing that structure, right? Like, you fall into a line of, I go to work, I go home, go to work, I go home. And a lot of people don't realize how hard it is to really make friends as an adult. Right? It's a it's a little bit of a struggle.
Yeah.
You go out and you're like, oh, it's a whole awkward phase where you're meeting people initially and trying to do that, and there isn't really a good vehicle for that. And not to say that I used the fraternity to just get friends, but when I realized that it was important to them, I realized how important it was to me. And then so when I saw how friends acted with friends in this fraternity, I said, that's something that I want to be able to do.
Love it. I love it. Now, a lot of times when people think of Q's, Omega Psi Phi, there are quite a few stereotypes that are attached to you gentlemen. But one of the things that I do like to get across to folks is that you gentlemen across the board are very impactful in the communities that you service. That's, like your core values. What are some of the work that you guys are pulling off there in the west side of Chicago?
Well, we run the gambit. We go from a couple years ago, we worked with some Deltas to do a Martin Luther King event where we packaged a bunch of toiletries for homeless people in the area. And we turned around and did something similar the following year. We also, right around the time where the homeless population in Chicago really started beefing up because of the immigrant swelling, we would go to soup kitchens and just hand out chili, so that because how else are they going to get a meal? And then we would hand out toiletries, and they was like, well, can I have this one versus that? Whatever you want. This is for you guys to be here. Just take what you need is really what it's about. We do book bag giveaways for the kids when they're going back to school. We do part of one of our mandated programs is that we hold a essay contest every year. And so we do it as part of our achievement week, where we hold an essay contest, and we get these usually kids going to be into college, right? High school seniors. They write on this particular subject, and then we grade them, and then the best one gets some form of scholarship. Usually it's a smaller monetary amount. However, later in the year, we do another scholarship, and then that one usually is a little bit more. So we've been ramping up slowly over time, and we probably were able to give out the most that we've ever given this year, which was probably like $6,000 or $7,000, which was amazing.
Okay.
My goal is to be able to say that we're setting somebody up, year over year for their entire time in college, but that's a goal. We're trying to reach it. You got to start somewhere, and honestly, that was a huge benchmark for us.
Awesome. Okay. So, in some of the things that you just mentioned, I also saw that your chapter was awarded Social Impact Small Graduate Chapter of the Year. I think I saw that.
Social Action Chapter of the Year.
So from that, my first, I guess one of my questions is about how many brothers are in your chapter?
So we're actually one of the smaller chapters with only about 50 brothers, depending on the transiency of what's going on. Yeah, we have about 50 brothers in the chapter, and it just goes to the work of the brothers that was there that say, hey, can we do this? Can we do that? Can we find a way to do this? And I'm usually the person. I don't want to make decisions for us, but if you bring me an idea, let's work it out. Let's make it make sense. And a lot of the things that the brothers came up with, which was really impactful stuff, it made it easy to be like, okay, now we just need the bodies to do it. So you ask this guy, and he'll ask another 3 of his friends, and then we'll get that going there. And the other piece is that we just try to make sure that we document all of that stuff, so that not because what I realize is when you do good work, it's not enough that you do it, but people have to see that you're doing it so that they can join you in doing it, and then it just continues snowballing, and that's kind of the space that we want to be at.
Okay. What's the difference? Because with the graduate chapters, you guys are doing a lot of work. Since you've been on Omega Man, what are some of the general differences you notice between undergrad and grad chapters?
Usually undergrad and grad. So undergrad chapters, the biggest thing is that they're young, right? And because they're younger men, they think about what younger men think about. Whereas older men, they're a little bit more seasoned, and they think about what older men think about. And those two things aren't always dissimilar, right? But a lot of times you can just kind of tell by the conversation. It's just a little bit different. Undergrads, their form of fundraising has usually just generally been parties, because that's what the kids like to do. Let's throw a party, we'll do that. And what we found is, like, as graduate chapters, while people do love and enjoy going to party, that's not our only vehicle of being able to fundraise. And so a lot of times we have to be able to shift the focus from our undergraduates to see other things, because of the big piece of being a graduate chapter is that we have to be able to look out for our undergraduate chapters as well.
Okay.
So going to the different events that Omega has, a lot of times the conversation with those younger bros was supposed to say, just get there. We'll take care of you once you're there, but just get there. And so, like, and I've seen brothers just really like, hey, you guys undergrads, have y'all eaten yet? No, we haven't. Here, come take this, bucket of chicken, or y'all order what y'all want on the menu, and we'll take care of it. And that's the way that it's supposed to be, because we're supposed to look back and reach for the people who are behind us. And that's, to me, that's one of the best way to do it, because people learn by seeing. And if I see how you treat me, I'm going to want to treat the person behind me the exact same way. And I think that is just honestly beautiful thing.
Beautiful. Because those college days were rough. Some days it was a little hard to get a meal. So does Rho Mu Mu, are you responsible for advising certain undergrad chapters in your
well, in the past we have not been, but we just recently have been working with the brothers from Chicago State to try to build them up a little bit and assist over there. So we it's in the infancy stage for sure, but
Awesome.
it's definitely a way for us to be able to build them up as we build ourselves up, and we just really just work together
Okay.
to make some stuff happen.
Awesome. Beautiful. Now you're mentioning mentorship and working with the younger brothers. Now, a lot of times in the media is I don't know if it's over sensationalization or what, but there's a constant promotion of the crime that's going on in Chicago. And we know that a way we can alleviate a lot of that is with mentorship, especially when it comes to our young people. Are there certain youth mentorship programs that Rho Mu Mu is actually doing?
So we don't have our own
Okay.
mentorship program that we have, but we do have several mentorship programs that we participate with.
Okay.
One of which is up north in the Fox Valley area. We go once a month, and a brother will go and he'll talk to the kids out there. Really, just sometimes it's about what they want to talk about. Sometimes it's what everyone is on our heart. But a lot of times, we just use it as an opportunity to just kind of build those kids up. There's also another one that they do, I think, out of Blue Island, where they assist one of the local high schools out there with their mentorship program. So we have brothers that kind of go back and forth between the two. I participated in one. I haven't participated in the other. I got to working my way down there, but it's definitely a fulfilling and rewarding experience.
That's great. Well, give me some inside scoop because you are the chapter Basileus, and that's like the president for folks who are not aware. Uh, what are some of the headaches and what are some of the rewards of leading a bunch of grown men?
Well, so I'm a leader in my professional life as well,
Okay.
and I think the biggest headache is you know that you're leading an organization of people who are not being paid to do right. There's
Mm.
no incentive,
Oh,
so you have to find what motivates that person internally
okay.
to be able to reach whatever the goal is that you're trying to do. And I won't say that it's easy because it's definitely not. However, it is important to be able to touch base and tap into people. And I felt like for me, it makes me a better leader because now I do know to look for those things that that person is motivated by.
Okay.
Sometimes it's a hand on the shoulder to say, listen, brother, I need you. I need
Gotcha.
you to help me with this.
Gotcha.
And sometimes that's enough. Other times it's to say, look, this is going to lead to this. I need you to be there so that you can be able to receive this. And sometimes that's enough. And other times it's some people I like to, I like to use the phrase, some people are bullets and some people are missiles. Some people you gotta line it up so that you can hit that target. And some people can just let it go wherever. It's gonna hit, it's gonna hit the target no matter what. So and you just really just gotta know who the people are and again what
Gotcha.
motivates them. And again, I think that's really what's helped me to become a better leader. And I'm not saying I'm the best by far, because I don't believe that I am. But over time, decision over decision, uh, you know, uh, motivation over motivation, it becomes a little bit better, a little bit easier, and you start to see the trends that'll help you make better decisions.
Awesome. Um, Going back to because I asked earlier about how many brothers were in the chapter, and I'm aware that over the years, Omega Psi Phi has changed over the years, just with all of the Divine Nine. So I'm assuming you have some older brothers, older school cues in the chapter versus some younger ones. Is it easy to kind of meld all of the thoughts together?
So the for us, we got a little bit of everything. So there's older brothers who
Uh-huh.
are older in the frat, but we have older brothers who are younger in the frat, and then
Ah,
younger brothers who are young, and so on, right? And because we have such a spectrum to pull from, it really just opens the conversations that we have. A lot of times, it's kind of funny. We sit in chapter meetings, and I'm like, okay, we got to be done in an hour or hour and a half, and just the conversation that flows from so many viewpoints is just impossible. It's out of there in that time. So, you know, an older bruh speaks, everybody listens. A younger bruh speaks, everybody listens.
Beautiful.
Because the viewpoints are just so different, and it really just depends. It really opens up to who's the subject matter expert.
Okay.
Because if we're throwing a party, that older bruh may not be able to connect to what it takes to throw that smart type of party. Right?
Understood.
However, if we're talking about fundraising on a different level, using investments or something like that, that older bruh has seen a few things, and he might be able to point us in the right direction in a lot of different ways. So, I think the way our chapter is set up with the spectrum of people makes it chef's kiss perfect.
Beautiful. Well, let me ask you maybe a personal question here, because we were talking about this a little bit before we came on today. You are Nigerian,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm wondering if there are any things within Nigerian culture, be it concepts about family, brotherhood, community, that you parlay into Omega Psi Phi, or you leverage, or you see similarities or anything like that?
Yeah, I think so. You know, I'm a strong believer that we are all a collection of our experiences, right? And I'm no different, and I bring that to the table. So, a lot of times we'll be in chapter meeting, and I'll be quoting my grandmother, or I'll be quoting something my father told me. And it's funny to say, because you know my father is not an Omega. But his advice isn't any less valuable.
True.
And it definitely resonates in that situation where we're at whenever at that time, you know. And my grandmother was a very strong woman, but she wasn't Greek in any way.
Mm-hmm.
And when she gave me you know, advice, I listened back in the day, and it definitely still resonates with me now. So I was able to partake, you know, send some of that forward with the chapter. So yeah, I think it definitely, that sense of community, that sense of fellowship, and that sense of for lack of a better word, tribalism, definitely sits in there as well.
Beautiful. Now, we've been hearing all day today about a lot of the work that you gentlemen are doing there in the west side of Chicago. You've got your meetings to go to, you got to coordinate, get all the brothers together to do this work. How do you guys recreate and take a deep breath and just enjoy the brotherhood bond? Because you can't work all the time.
No, you definitely cannot. And sometimes it's as simple as meeting some of the brothers at their house to go and hang out with them. Sometimes it's, you know, a phone call to say, hey, you know, Friday night, we're going to go hang out at this place. Sometimes it's planned in advance to say, hey guys, this is the day that we're going to get everybody together and we're going to go do this thing. All of them work in various degrees of success. It really just depends on honestly, it just feels on the brotherhood. And what I've heard from some of the people that I listen to is the best way to get them there is after the chapter meeting because they're already there. So let's go hang out now, right? And so I haven't quite figured out how to capitalize on that yet, but I'm working on it.
Okay, that and some food. You know, us Black folks.
Our food all does it every time.
Get us some food. We there. All righty. What I lost. Age is something. I just lost my thought just like that. That's all right. Any events coming up? You guys got going on?
You know, just recently we had we just had a chapter fundraiser where we did a day party, which was
so the parties are actually fundraisers.
No, some of them are. No, all of them. All of them are usually fundraisers, but as somebody explained to me once, even if you break even, you still had a good time. Yes. And a lot of times that's the thought process that we pursue. You know, we obviously want it to be successful, but if everybody had a good time, then it paid for itself, right? Right now, we do plan on doing some stuff for our achievement week. I don't have the stuff right in front of me.
Didn't have the charter day. Don't have the what is Achievement Week is coming up soon?
Huh?
Achievement Week is coming up soon.
Yeah, Achievement Week is coming up for the Founders Day for Omega Psi Phi, which is November 17th. 19th.
He knows that one.
Yeah, I know that one. I know that one. I know. That one I know. But we
we gonna fire you.
Indeed. Listen,
give me my boots back.
I've got so many things running through my mind, and if I don't write it down, I end up being terrible at it.
Okay.
Let's see here. I got it here. Let's see here. So we're gonna do a morning worship service on November 12th.
Okay.
At Mount Ebenezer Church.
Okay.
Which is 3555 West Huron in Chicago. And it's going to start at 11. That's going to be done by Pastor Leon Miller. And Brother Nicholas Hinton will be there to serve as this year's guest speaker. So we'll be doing that. And then we'll be doing a day of service on Tuesday, November 14th. And that'll be with Brother Nicholas Hinton at Duke Elementary School. We'll be there talking to the kids, motivating the kids.
Okay.
And then separately, we'll go to Thornwood High School, and then we'll also motivate those kids there as well. And that'll be from 3:30 to 4:15. And then we also have the Fox Valley guys that will go and we'll talk to them, and that'll be from 5 to 6:15. And then we also have a family night out, which will be Wednesday, November 15th. And then obviously we have Founders Day on November 17th, which you throw a stone, somebody somewhere is having a party.
It'll be popping in Chicago.
You cannot miss. I guarantee you that.
It'll be popping in Chicago. Okay.
Indeed. And then I know we do plan on, I think, having a citywide Founders Day celebration, which I know is to be determined at this point. We haven't narrowed that down yet.
All right. Well, assuming that Brother Obi gets his calendars and his dates together, if we fast forward 5-10 years, will we be District Basileus or?
Oh man, that's a tough question. I will say that I do seek more levels of leadership over time, but I do know that those type of positions take a special type of leadership, and at this point in my life, I don't know that I'm ready for that. So it is I mean, my hat's off to the DR, our district rep, and his executive board, who do some of the greatest work that I've seen with with sometimes little or nothing, and they make miracles happen. And I think it's absolutely amazing. And I'm wanting to suck up every bit of knowledge that I can from those guys, because they are amazing to watch. They're amazing to see in action with their leadership styles and the work that they do for Omega. I am a lifetime student. I'll continue to be a lifetime student. And if I'm ever get to that point where I'm ready, I definitely will do something.
Awesome. It's so wonderful to see a whole bunch of men come together and be a well-oiled machine. Folks thought it couldn't be done, but it's been done now for over 100 years.
Indeed.
Awesome. Okay, so before I get out of here and ask you my random question, I want to give the wife some time, because I might be in Chicago and I might need somebody to hang with. So let me give her props now. But if I recall correctly, I think the wives, significant others of Omega men, are called 𝗙𝗘𝗏 or something, I think. So we've been spending this day talking about how Omega has been a benefit asset to your life and the things that you appreciated, and it's taken your life to the next level. But your own personal 𝗙𝗏, how has she made your life, made you a better man?
Oh man, I can't say enough about my wife, Fallon. Honestly, I hope everybody finds their Fallon, because my life instantly got better when I met her. Honestly, I mean, she's my sounding board, she's my rock. You know, she was and is a beautiful person inside and out. She holds me accountable, which, you know, sometimes is a hard pill to swallow. But I appreciate it. And on the flip side of that, she also, you know, when I need her to be, you know, that soft, loving place, she's always there for me. Again, I can't say enough good things about my wife. She has been amazing. Even when I know that I am taking her to her limits of whatever her sanity can take, uh, she still, you know, looks back at me, tells me I love you at night, and then we go to bed very happy people. So I appreciate it very much.
Awesome, awesome. And if she was here, what would she tell a lady about the
Whoa, whoa,
drawbacks or
whoa,
benefits
whoa,
of marrying a Q?
whoa. Her edges got better, you know, the muscles got better, you know. You know what I'm saying? She got a garden growing in the back. Unreal. The things that happen when you marry a
I
kid.
love it. I love it. I
We
love
travel more.
it.
It's nuts.
I love it. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, that's awesome. Well, let me ask you my random question. Did I miss any Q business? Did I miss anything?
No.
I got it. I got it all in there. I try to get it all in. Let me ask my random question and then let's see her. Let's see. I think I got it all. Let's see what we get. Huh, we mentioned this earlier. Sort of. What is the most useful thing your mom or dad has taught you?
Ooh. Sheesh. Uh, and this is going to sound terrible. No, I'm not going to give that advice. I'll tell you, because that can be used very bad. People will be all over your podcast saying all kinds of stuff. I will say that my grandmother told me that God helps those who help themselves,
Awesome.
and I live by that.
Awesome.
You know, people sometimes they stop and pray, and I don't know which way to go, and she taught me just go, and something will open up in front of you, but you be moving in a direction because it's a lot easier to guide you in a direction than it is to move you from stop. And I'm a large man, so I believe that wholeheartedly. Because moving me from stop is a hard thing to do. But if I'm
Awesome.
in motion, it's easy for you to just be like, no, just turn left.
All right. Thank you, Grandma. Thank you, Grandma. Well, sir, let us know if we were ever on the west side of Chicago, how we connect with Rho Mu Mu and hang out with you guys, or
Well, yeah, definitely. You can follow us on Instagram at Rho Mu Mu Qs, or you can definitely you know, go to our website, which is also Rho Mu Mu Qs. Chicago West Side Qs. We're always here. Reach out any way you can.
awesome, awesome. Just follow the sound of Atomic Dog and the gentleman hopping, right? Awesome. Well, I appreciate you gentlemen so much. You know, just for the work that you're doing in the community, just for breaking the stereotypes that they're constantly saying about Black men in this world. It's just so phenomenal to see large groups of you just putting it down, just picking it up and putting it down for your community. So I appreciate you and extend my appreciation to the rest of the brothers. And the next time I'm there, not flying into O'Hare, but Midway, I'll have to stop by and say hello to you, gentlemen.
Absolutely. We'll be happy to have you. I appreciate you having me on here. And you know what? You asked me a random question, and I think it's only fair that I get to ask you a random question. Like
oh boy.
Around. I don't know if people done this to you, but
you're the first, but I'm
gonna flip it. So I guess my random question for you would be, how did you get started to do this? What made you decide I want to interview the range and of Black men and be able to talk to them on a regular basis?
You know, behind me are my elders, grandparents and great grandparents. And growing up, I've always witnessed phenomenal men in my family, just shoring up their family, just being alpha and omegas for their families. And you know, as you grow up and you travel through this world and you sit at certain tables with women who have not had bad experiences, there's a tendency to hear conversations, men ain't, black men ain't. And I never had anything bad to say, you know, even though I might have had a bad experience here or there, but to put everyone in a bucket, I just couldn't do that, because I've had so many Black men just come to my aid and assistance and be there for me. I always tell people it's only you guys that are lining up to help me out. I don't see a lot of, so I mean, what would I look like if I didn't give that love back to you guys? So that's how I got started on this. I think you guys are phenomenal, and somebody's got to do it, right? Somebody's got to say it. Somebody's got to stand on their soapbox,
and we appreciate you for it.
So that's it. Well, thank you. You're the first one who has flipped it on me, so I appreciate that. All right. Well, let me wrap this up here before we're sitting, you know, because I was born in the country and I can talk for a little while. So let me wrap this up here. That is all for this week's episode of The Male Perspective. I'm your host, Lana Reid, and I will see everybody next time.